What's going on, Paisanos? V here. Come at you guys, well, with my top 8 deck profile from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote Duel Invitational Qualifiers. I went X1 in Swiss, and then top 8, I just hit the ceiling, and the deck popped. Deck ran amazing. There's things I definitely would change, and there's things I would like to add to the deck more than likely, and I'll talk about it in this video. Guys, new channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, comment down below, give it a like, and share the video. So I literally made adjustments to this deck last minute, the night before, like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and yeah, I really enjoyed some of the decisions I made. Some of them I definitely didn't enjoy, and like I said, I'll talk all about that in this video. I have my round by round pairings. There was 30 players, 5 rounds, top 8. The prizes were insane. I believe I won the Invokes playmat, Blue Eyes Dragon Field Center, a bunch of packs of Phantom Rage, and if you was to win the entire event, once again, 30 players, you win a Switch. A custom Switch case, Yu-Gi-Oh! Link Evolution. Of course, the top 2 players got their opportunity to go and play in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote Duel Invitationals, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote Duel Qualifiers, or what's it called. Big Yu-Gi-Oh! event, Remote Duels coming up soon. So anyway, let's go over the deck profile, guys. I'm going to show you guys my main side extra. I am playing 41 in the main, and that might definitely change in the future. Okay, so looking at it, obviously, for the spells, we're going to play 3 Drytron Fafnir. People are starting to play like a Terraforming and 2 Drytron Fafnirs, which just makes 0 sense to me, because the best card to beat this deck is Draw and Lockbird. So why play a Draw and Lockbird, I'm sorry, Terraforming, and then you pull a Draw and Lockbird when you add your Fafnir? Why not play Fafnir and add in something like, I don't know, maybe like Drytron Nova to your hand, which I'm trying to get in my hand. Drytron Nova, so worst of the worst, you can go into other plays in case you do get hit by Draw and Lockbird. Then we have a playset of Preparation of Rights, a playset of Cyber Emergencies, another great card in here. For the rest of our spells, we have Foolish Burial, a playset of Forbidden Droplet. This card was actually insane this event. I really like this card. I think everybody who's playing Drytron and is not maining Forbidden Droplet, I feel like is doing it wrong, because if you play against a mirror match, this is the card you're gonna need to break the board. And in fact, in my matches, I talk about this card a good amount, because this card really did come in clutch for me. Forbidden Droplet is a phenomenal card. Like I said, against that matchup where your opponent's ending on a Vanity's Fiend and a Herald, a Droplet is gonna let you not only break their board but create your board and just win the game. And like I said, I'll talk about that in the matchups. You guys gotta check that out. It's insane. And then another spell I'm playing is 2 Mianis Drytron. So I was playing one originally, and I decided to put the second one in. The reason why is because people are starting to wise up to this card. They're starting to realize the fact that if you Cosmic Cyclone and Mianis Drytron, your opponent, I just lose my ability to ritual summon or have ritual spells. Another alternative side about this card is, listen, if I need to either run the Fafnir or Zeta in order to add this to my hand. If Fafnir and Zeta don't work, this card's probably not going to be added to my hand. One card I didn't run was Manju, and I'll talk about that later on. I'll talk about the monsters, but that's also a third option. If you're going Manju, you're not going Vanity, so I like to go Vanities. But looking at me now, Drytron, you only have 2 options to get to this card. And like I said, the Cosmic Cyclone, this card, you're just SOL. So why are you running only 1? I decided to run 2 of these, cut down, I'll show you the monsters count, what I did for monster counts. It's modified. But yeah, I think 2 Mianis Drytron was amazing. Every time I had it in my hand, and I was to go into Zeta, there were times my opponent went and stopped my Zeta, knowing that I don't have Fafnir, and going, hey, if I stop that Zeta, he ain't get a ritual summon. And of course, me having the other one in my hand was a big deal. I am dead serious. If you are playing Drytons, you need to play 2 Mianis all the time, non-negotiable. Then we're talking about Drytron monsters, a playset of Alpha, 2 Gamma, 2 Delta, 2 Zeta. Now, this is where I differ. Being the fact that I'm running 2 Mianis Drytons, I'm going to run 2 Zeta. And I'm not done yet. I'm going to run a Beta. And the reason why is because your opponent is still playing cards. 2 bench cards in your graveyard. So that Beta actually is more relevant than it was when this deck first came out. Because when this deck first came out, nobody was caring about like DD Crow. Nobody was carrying around other alternative cards, 2 bench cards in your graveyard. During this tournament, those cards did get banished from my graveyard. Specifically, Drytron cards. And Beta definitely did work as far as what its actual effect is to be. Which is so in case anyone doesn't know, takes a banished Drytron monster, put it back in the graveyard. So this card actually did an excellent job. I'm really excited about it. As you can see over here, the deck count is 10 Drytons. Some people are playing 9, some people are playing 10. I'm a big fan of 10. I think 10 is the perfect ratio to get a good amount of Drytons in your hand. There are a couple of games I didn't get Drytons in my hand, and when you don't get Drytons in your hand, a little fun fact, you lose. Now, don't get me wrong, you still have so many other ways, like Drytron Fafnir and all those other cards to get you Drytons, but it's always good to have a Dryton in your hand and not a Search in your hand, so you don't get hit with Droll, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I running 10 was definitely the correct number. I really did like the beta. I might keep it in for the future. I really wish I had more Dryton cards that did more other things, but beta wasn't that bad, I will say that. But like I said, I don't need 2 Zanes if I have Minianis. It makes 0 sense to me, and I'd rather play Minianis. For my World Monsters, I played 1 Vanity's Ruler, I played 1 Dawn Knight, Cyber, Petite Angel. So I ran a playset of Herald Orange Light. Normally this would be the purple Herald Purple Light, but I like Cyber Petite Angel more because Cyber Petite Angel, if you use your Eva, okay, and you add your Cyber Petite Angel and Herald Orange Light, and your opponent and your opponent doesn't run through 2 negates, because at that point they have to run through 2 negates, you can normal summon Cyber Petite Angel, which normally would be the situation which Mandrew would be useful in. But you would normal Cyber Petite Angel, add your Cyber Angel Ben 10, and then continue your play. So this is why I like this. This is why I took out Mandrew completely out of the deck. I felt like if I do run through a negate with Eva, my opponent has to give me 2 more negations in order for me to not have the opportunity to have Cyber Petite Angel next turn. Almost every time they either scooped or they just ran through my negations. So I would have a decent board, they'd have nothing. So this is why this is so important and so huge. I mained 1 Artifact Lancer because I felt like it was searchable, and it was still good. To be honest with you, this is coming out. This is probably gonna go my side deck. I really don't. That would make this deck 40 cards. I really don't like Artifact Lancer in the main. I feel like it's really good when we had a lot of dominant virtual world decks in the meta, but being the fact that Eleg is there, I think Eleg is an excellent check. Any mid-range, like solid mid-range deck, is a really excellent check to virtual world. Except this deck, obviously. But yeah, I would take out Artifact Lancer out the side. It's not needed. It's not useful. I did run 1. At times when I did draw it, I really did wish it was anything else. Literally anything else. Then we ran 3 Cyber Angel Ben 10s. Natasha, which is, you know, one of my favorite cards in this deck. The more I play this deck, the more I enjoy Natasha. Like, even more than I did previously. When in doubt, always go Natasha. Like, that's literally the idea behind everything. If you have your hand set up in your combo already, just bring out Natasha, sack it away because now it's been properly summoned, and we got 3 bets in the graveyard. That Natasha is going to be worth its weight in gold. The card's absolutely broken. And then I played Herald Perfection. This was supposed to be Herald Ultimateness. If you are looking to play this build, will you playing Herald Ultimateness? Do not play this card. This card is not as good. Herald Ultimateness has more, which I found out. Number 2, no, this will do more. The reason why I play this is because I copied I had my deck list on Dueling Book, and then I physically copied card for card my Dueling Book deck list over to my my actual deck list for this event. And it was like 2 in the morning. I was tired. I was rushing to go back to sleep. And it said Herald P. And I was like, yeah, it's probably Perfection. That's probably what Ultimateness looks like. It's not. I will say it never really hindered me throughout this entire tournament. It never bothered me. The only reason, by the way, a little side note, the reason why people like to run sometimes Herald Perfection is because you can add it with Preparation of Rites. To be honest with you, I don't even care about adding a Preparation of Rites. Moving forward, this will be Herald Ultimateness, and I highly recommend anybody out there to play Herald Ultimateness. Once again, 40-card deck. We'll go over the side deck and some of my good and bad choices within the side deck when my camera zooms back in. Okay, so I don't know why it's all messed up on the zoom. Okay, so we'll just do this. No. Come on, camera. Okay, here we go. Okay. I played 1 each of Minianis Drytron Minianis Draconids and Quadratids. I'll be honest with you, these were not needed. The only time I think I cared was when I put the Quadratids in against like Ellic. The problem is I never really found use for it. I never really drew into it. I never really searched for it. I just never really cared for it. These definitely be coming out the side deck. I thought You know, they would have some use for me. Right now, the meta, they don't. I still think these are great cards. I still recommend you still hold on to your two. You have your Quantinids and Draconids. I think they're excellent cards. They're just not good right now, but definitely hold on to these. Then we have 2 Artifact Lancia. This will be 3 soon. But still a great card. It's still an excellent card. So, once again, another great card to hold on to. Duel Lockbird for the mirror, because this card is insanely against the mirror. That's simple. Then we have Nibiru, the Primal Being. I put this card in the side. I never really saw it, but I'll tell you right now, I'm still keeping it in the side. There's variants, and people might not understand this. Like, if you're playing Herald Fairies, I don't know why my camera's not zooming properly. If you're playing Herald Fairies, this is how you, like, get it to work sometimes. If you play, and then, you know, hopes and prayers. If you played Herald Fairies, then yeah, this card does nothing. But Herald Megalith, this card's really... Herald Megalith ends with a board of no actual negations other than, like, an Abyss Dweller. If they open an average board. Acceptance of boards will be always different. They will open better cards. But on an average board, you're going to be able to Nibiru them. What are you going to do? Activate Abyss Dweller on their first turn? Sure, I want to activate a Graveyard Effect. I'll just give you this Nibiru token. And I'll put Nibiru on board. That's basically what they do. Yeah, I'll just take my word for it. I'm playing cards. Then we have Red Reboot, Harvey's Fedusters, and a playset of Twin Twisters. So these go in, and these always go in against like a lot of back row decks. Twin Twisters was okay for me. I still don't know what I want, to be honest with you. There were times where I used Twin Twisters and I liked it, and there's times I wish these were Lightning Storms. And I have both, and I just don't know what I like. I really feel like both of these cards are amazing, but maybe even going forward, if I was to be running Lightning Storms, maybe I'll test out also Evenly Match. I mean, think about it. Against the Eleg matchup, Lightning Storms, they're still going to send to the graveyard. You know what I'm saying? Twin Twisters, I'm going to give a resource, they're still going to be sent to the graveyard. Evenly matched, maybe they won't be, depending on the game state, obviously, but we don't play a big, heavy, full board. And then when we do, and when we dedicate to that board, our opponent's not going to have the opportunity to really do anything against us. So maybe I'll consider toying around with evenly matched in the future. I definitely want to make some changes in this in the side deck a lot. I'm going to be working on a lot of stuff in the side deck. Evenly matched is definitely going to be something I might check out. Lightning Storm, something to definitely check out. So this isn't a bad card, but there's also other good alternatives. Maybe adding in like Triple Tactics Talents in the side deck as well. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm noticing, and I hopefully everyone looking at Deck Profiles this weekend is noticing, there are a lot of variants, rogue variants. And I mean rogue, I mean there's so much like Ellic Neuron, that's just insanely good deck. Technically a rogue deck, that you can activate Triple Tactics Talents in to stun them, or to at least take a card away from them, or at least to maintain some kind of advantage. Or whenever you do get hit in game 2 with that Duel Lockbird, you Triple Tactics Talents, and you make their decent hand that's 4 to now 3, and they gotta play you with a 4-card hand. Can you kill me with a 4-card hand? No? Alright, see you next turn, see what happens. So, there's definitely things I gotta work on, as far as the side deck, but I liked it overall. I thought it was, for the most part, a very solid side deck. Alright, for the extra deck. I'm running 1 Linkuriboh and 1 Relinquish Anima. I know there's a lot of people that's also running, what's the name? The Warrior, Neospatian, Aqua Dolphin. They're running Aqua Dolphin and Salamangreat Almirage. I don't like that. I know people might seem to think that the extra deck and side deck is something that's like, well, extra deck side deck is something that you can like mess around with. Some slots you just don't always need in the side deck, obviously. Like, you're not going to need Artifact Lancia against, like, a random rogue deck, or Nibiru against a deck that puts out, like, 1 monster. I get that, like Monarchs or whatever. But, like, and they might take that mentality and put it towards the extra deck, and they're like, oh, we won't always need something. But I always like to have the opportunity to always have something available to me. And Salamangreat Almirage, game 1, is useless. It realistically does nothing. That's why I'm not doing that. As well as, listen, if you have Drone Lockbird and I have to play Neospatian to get out of your Drone Lockbird, why not just play Prohibition? I mean, it just makes no sense to me. Anyway, Linkuriboh, Relinquish Anima. Obviously, I'm playing the 1 of Union Carrier. Some people like to play 2. By the way, I play tested a lot with this exact build, because it's the build I feel most confident in, personally speaking, and I like playing Thunder Dragons, and this build plays like Thunder Dragons, so I love that, you know. If Thunder Dragons came back, I would literally get rid of this deck tomorrow and play Thunder Dragons. That's why I decided to play this exact build over the Megalith build. It's more my personal play style. If you like a little more combo, then you go Megalith. If you like a little more like mid-rangey kind of deck, a little grindier decks, like Thunder Dragons, then you're gonna go with this build. That's the way I see it as far as the players that I come across that do play this deck. I play 1 Union Carrier. If they stop with Union Carrier, Sure, I'm probably still going to be in a good position. It doesn't really matter. I never felt like, every time they stopped my Union Carrier, I always felt like they messed up already. There's other cards you can definitely stop, and the minute you stop Union Carrier, I'm probably going to be able to still combo off, and it happened, I think, twice this tournament. Geonator Transversal is a great card. Heroine of Mirage Light's another excellent card. Dynamic Package, you got Cerebus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. Hopefully they make that Cerebus something pretty. And then for our rank 4s, we have Appaloosa, we have Axis Code, and we have Borosword. I went into Borosword, went to Axis Code. I never got an opportunity to go into Appaloosa. Appaloosa is the card, by the way, in case anyone's wondering why this card is here, is if you're playing against another Drytron matchup, and you have the opportunity to go in this. Your end board would be something like, sort of like Hero Perfection. It would be something like an Appaloosa, if you can make into that. And depending on the boards and game states, you absolutely can. This card's really good against that matchup. It's good against a lot of other matchups, especially rogue matchups. I still think Appaloosa is a phenomenal card, so that's why it's in here. Axial Talker, I mean, just breaks the board. I went into it through the tournament. This bad boy is delicious. And of course, Borisol Dragon. This card's amazing. If you're playing Dragons and you don't have Borisol Dragon, alright, fair guy. Jesus, no, this card's insane. And then we had 4 extra deck slots for XZs. Now, one of the biggest problems with the XCs is the fact that players, my sleeve's upside down. Players who are, one second, there we go. Players who are basically looking to, get advantages for the extra deck as far as the XCs, are doing it really fair. I don't like fair Yu-Gi-Oh! Fair Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a dumb idea as far as the way people do it. They play one XCs, and then down a Magician, and then a Zeus. And then mentality is, I'll go that guy, I'll go down and I'll go Zeus, and I'll have the ability to get 2 ways to pop your board. That's probably not gonna, if you're doing that, you're already won the game. So I don't like that rub salt on people's arm by running. I think that's a horrible idea. Here's the way to do it. Why don't we just play 2 Zeus? You just play 2 of these. You play 2 Zeus, and then you play 2 of any these guys. Now, I know some of these might go, V, what about Fusho? The reason I didn't run Fusho is because Lyrelix is kind of like Fusho. Detachment material from Lyrelish, she can be destroyed by battle, your opponent can target her, she's good enough. And then I have 7 Princess Bright, which I like a lot as well. This card, attach 1, middle top card of your deck. If it's a spell or trap, add it to your hand, get a resource. If it's not, you send it to the graveyard. So you can send a Drytron monster to the graveyard, okay? Or Sylvan Princess Bright is going to let you add a spell to your hand. If the spell's already played already, and since a lot of them once per turn, you can still have that as a resource for next turn as a follow-up play. 1 card does that. That's absolutely broken. And of course, each one is followed up by a Zeus, which I now need to get a Starlight Rare of, because I'm definitely solid on this. I like the 2 Zeus play. Listen, if you're going to resolve Zeus, you're not going to resolve it twice. You're more likely only going to resolve it once. In the very rare instance that you resolve it twice, doesn't justify you playing a 1-1-1 package. I think it's a horrible idea. I don't agree with it. I like to go Zeus twice. I like to have the opportunity to go Zeus twice, because it tells your opponent, hey, I'm going to go on this guy. And if they bust their hump to get rid of this guy, they think that you have 2 dead cards in your extra deck. But you don't, because your next turn you can just go Princess Bright, attach, gain value, go Zeus, and go, remember this guy, and clean their board again. I did make a mistake throughout the tournament in which I did not go Zeus when I should have. It might have changed the game, but you know, mistakes happen. But ultimately, this is an excellent card. It's so good, you gotta play 2 of. All right. So let me talk, by the way, people normally do like shoutouts in deck profiles. I'm not going to do shoutouts in mine because I feel like me doing shoutouts, this video gets, let's say this video gets like 1,000 views. Me doing shoutouts, about 998 people don't care about that, so I'm not going to waste your time. Thanks to everybody that, like, whatever, thanks to, and the hell to everybody that did it, you know. I don't know, I hate the idea of shoutouts. It's just, like I said, especially if it gets a lot of views, nobody cares. Anyway, shout out to nobody caring. There you go. The prize in this event was big. 30 players, 5 rounds, top 8. Like I said, I went X1. Round 1, I play against Dinos. Game 1, I go full combo. The Dino player just cannot break that board. He can't break away to not special summon. It just doesn't happen. Game 2, he runs into WCT. I go Natasha with droplets, and I basically Natasha droplets outgrind the Dino player by the use of Natasha and droplets. Like I said, I activate droplets, sent my Natasha, got rid of both half and stopped both of his UCTs. Natasha took one, and basically, like I said, I ran that game from there. end game life points. I was down. I think I was down to like 4,000, and at the end of that game, I think it was like around like 10,000. It was insane. So Natasha really won me the Dino matchup. Number 2, I played against a mirror, like exact mirror, Herald Fairies. Game 1, he had a Herald Ultimatus on this zone over here. His Monster Zone 5. If you got a huge nerd like me and you count the Monster Zones, he had a Herald Ultimatus on Monster Zone 5. I went over here and put my dude Geonator. And I said Geonate him. And then I took his guy, and then I was like, all right. And then I had the opportunity to have an even hand. He knew I had the even hand, but I had even hand, a Herald Ultimatus, Geonator, and I of course I popped the Thubin, which was swapped over. It was in defense mode. And yeah, he had 2 in hand after on the draw, so he wasn't stopping that, and he knew it. And then game 2, unfortunately for my opponent, he forgot to put in Herald back in the deck, so his Herald was out. Now, me, when the game's over, I'm working on I'm instantly running to my side deck. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. I'm trying to figure out what's giving me the best chances of winning that game. I'm literally in my head fixing up his deck list and what I would think he would play against me. We start the game off. He goes first. He starts doing his combo, and his Herald Ultimatus is still over here. What he did was, it was on his Monster Zone 5. He didn't want to putting it on my Monster Zone 3. On his side, which I couldn't see. Well, I didn't want to say I couldn't see. It was probably there. I just didn't see. I'll say it like that, because I don't know if I saw it or didn't see it. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even look for it. And of course, what happened was he's like, well, I could just put it back in my deck, and you already know the story. You can't just put something back in your deck if you drew your hand already and start playing your board out. And it turned out, even though I had to drop it to my hand, he didn't have like a Draw Lock, Burn, Ash Blossom. I mean, that ratio would have changed. There's a certain percentage. I don't know the percentage off my top of my head, but if you take a card out your deck and you draw your hand, that card's not as good to open with, which I think we can agree, Herald Ultimate is not the good card to open with. It's definitely gonna change the percentages, unfortunately. It felt scummy. I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry that that you have to go through this. But I always think back about the times, like I went to a YCS, happened to me. I almost made a bubble. I think it was like round 7 to 8 round YCS where I was on the bubble, where it happened to me, and I was winning that game. It sucks. I think about the other players that happened to, and I'm like, hey, listen, this event's a lot harder. This event's a lot more strict, and I'm just trying to play as fair as possible. And unfortunately, like I said, if it's the locals, I wouldn't care, but this event, yeah, I care. And then round 3, I played against Elic Dogmatica. I lost that game, actually. So game 1, I got outgrinded. I really just got outgrinded. I think there were opportunities and times I could have won that game. I really do believe that. But unfortunately, I just got outgrinded. It happens. And then game 2, I didn't Zeus. And by not Zeusing, I think I had 2 opportunities to Zeus. And I didn't take any opportunity to Zeus. I was thinking about Lynx in my mind the whole time, which is definitely not the smart thing to do. And yeah, I messed up, and it cost me the game, game 2. We unfortunately didn't go to game 3, and he won that, which is, I mean, it is what it is. I think he won the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, no, definitely, I definitely had the opportunity to go into Zeus twice. I didn't. I was thinking about Lynx in my head the whole time, and that's just something on me. He definitely played great. Round 4, the mirror match, technically. He played Megaliths, and I played Drytron, Fairies. So, game 1, wait, what was it? Oh. Wait, round 4 Megaliths. Game 1, he creates his board with a best dweller. I have nothing, just absolute nothing. Game 2, he went full. I'm looking at my notes. Game 2, I don't have chicken scratch. Game 2, I went full combo. I get droplets, but I had like the Herald play, so I had like, even though I went droplets, by the way, on my Vanities and my Herald, I still had like Eva and Herald Orange Light. I think Natasha, I believe. My hand was still like, really good, so I still had the opportunity to have at least 2 more negations, which I did. And it wasn't enough for him. Once again, if you stop to wait for him to get to the Medianus, there's not much they can do. That's like, I'm not sure if anyone knows or not, if this is a big secret, but like, you stop us getting our ritual spell, we can do a lot of Q plays, we can't do the actual play. And then in game 3, he bricked, and I didn't. I still opened my game 3 hand was still insanely cracked. I really did feel like no matter what, unless he had like I said, Astro, I was gonna break his board. I felt very confident in that game. Opening game 3, he just didn't give me the opportunity to, because he set one pass, and I was like, well, there goes this game. But once again, It happens. You definitely can't brick in Yu-Gi-Oh! It could easily have happened to me as it happened to him. And any of us in this format. You know, no deck is that good where you cannot brick. It's just every deck has an opportunity to brick. Luckily for all of us. And then round 4, Dragoon Ellic. I don't know about game 1 and game 2. I totally forgot about that. But in game 3, he brought out the Ellic, the Golden City, Golden Land, pay 800 light points, add a Ellic card, Golden Boy or Cursed Land card in your hand. He did that, and time was calling around, and he lost the time. I would have loved to grind it out with him. I even told him afterwards, I'm like, man, I really wanted to grind this out with you. I still feel like I had the opportunity to take that win still, the opportunity to just end that game, but it didn't happen that way. He just paid 800 light points, and yeah. And then top 8, my opponent just drew everything. game one, I'm playing against my opponent in top 8. He's playing Virtual World. I believe he lost in top 4, unfortunately, which kind of sucked. He was a cool guy. He was playing Virtual World, and game 1, he has VFD combo. You can be the best Virtual World player in the game. Your opponent has VFD combo. I'm not Virtual World, Drytron player in the game. Your opponent has VFD combo. This is nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do. So I had to give that game away, unfortunately, which kind of sucked. Even though I still try to play through it. VFD, once again, what am I doing when I can't play my cards? Game 2, I didn't have that big of a hand. My hand wasn't that crazy. It was decent, but I thought what it was all the time I had. But it wasn't as good. I had like a very linear line of play in which I was progressing through. And he stopped me. He stopped me. I'm pretty sure I got hit with Draw and Lockboard, I believe, and I had to negate it. I had a hand of 3 cards after getting hit with Draw and Lockboard, and I still managed to try to create a board. But like I said, when I'm not hitting my ritual monsters, my Drytons become like level 1 cute guys that have cute abilities that don't really do much. So unfortunately, that didn't work out for me. And then of course, once again, he needed a spell in order to do his combo. And he drew into the spell. He drew the card he needed. Virtual World players. Anyway, I thought it was an excellent event. I'm really excited to play in the next Remote Duel Invitational to play in the qualifiers. I'm really looking forward to this. I had a great time. Like I said, I made top 8. I won the Invoke playmat, Field Center, a bunch of packs. For this event, by the way, it's free. Once you qualify for this event, it's free. So you're playing for an opportunity with Nintendo Switch. Top 16 get a playmat. Once again, this is a 30-man tournament. The biggest I heard so far for these events were I think 48, I believe. But top 16 get a playmat, a really nice playmat. It's selling for a good amount of money, which I'm definitely probably going to be selling. And a lot of great stuff. I really think that Konami definitely hit out the park with this event specifically. I really wish Konami was to do more as far as the big event, and I might talk about that, the whole structure of how I think it should happen in a different video. I think the qualifying event should be a lot different as well. It should be a lot harder for the big event, and maybe I'll do a video talking about how Konami can improve the quality of remote duels. Guys, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Dryton's definitely one of the best decks of the format, unless you draw bad. Then it doesn't matter what you're playing. You can play Fluffles, you're still gonna catch an L. I really had a great time playing in this event, like I said. And guys, if you're looking to play Drytons, this is definitely my favorite build of Drytons. If you want to play a little more combo, there's Megaliths. I don't think there's any wrong answers, by the way. I think they're both right answers. I just think it's depending on your play style. I like Thunder Dragons, and this is the version I'm playing. It's your boy V, and YGOPaisanos,